So, 37 years old, 150 pounds, haven't gained a pound since high school.
So you're probably in decent health then-ish, you know? Not carrying
I,
around a ton of extra weight. That's nice.
I drink and I smoke, so
Hey.
it's probably going to go downhill from here.
Yo! So it's come to my attention that 50% of the people who find their way to my video are not subscribed, so please do me a favor, support the channel, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, subscribe. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. All right, let's get Magnificent Mike in here. Mike, you're on air. What is up, dude?
Oh, whoa, what's going on, Wake?
Yo, what's up, dude? How we doing?
I'm doing great. Can I just say that you look absolutely dashing.
I do it for Mrs. Claus. And how's your Christmas? Are you having a good one, man?
I've been having an alright Christmas. I kind of wanted to talk about what I got for Christmas.
What'd you get, man?
Not much, but I got a sweater with Homer Simpson printed on the front of it.
Nice.
And fun fact, I've never watched The Simpsons.
You don't need to, though. Just everyone assumes people have seen The Simpsons, so you'll get away with it.
I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing.
And here's another thing. If anyone asks you what your favorite episode is, you can name the time Homer does literally anything. And they'll be like, yeah, I like that one. You'll be like, the time Homer invades an elementary school with his group of friends. Will be like, yeah, that happened. Like, they did everything. There's nothing that wasn't done. You'll be fine. No one can expose you.
But what I really noticed about these gifts is that a lot of people do not know what I really want for Christmas.
Well, what did you want for Christmas?
Well, that's the thing, is like, I don't think I tell people like what I want or like what my interests are. Right now, I'm specifically like trying to find more hobbies that I want to get into so that I can kind of like expand what I actually have to do. Because right now, all I really do is just stay home, play video games.
Gaming's fun. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 25.
And so people don't know what you want because you don't know what you want, or because you don't communicate what you want?
I think it's a mixture of both.
So what would you communicate right now that you would want, if you could?
Video games. But that's the thing.
What video game would you want?
There's nothing really that comes to mind. I've been playing a lot of Hollow Knight, and I'm just waiting for Silksong to come out. I don't know if you've ever played Hollow Knight before.
I haven't, no.
It's just a great feel. Everything about it is, to me, is just perfect.
You seem to have a general, like, appreciation for games. Like, that's like a connoisseur sentiment. It has a great feel, you know? So that's, like, not even, like, specific. It's just, like, the experience cohesively appeals to you. Most people are like, I like the character, I like the story, but you, like, collectively, everything feels right, you know? So you clearly, like, you like games. Do you feel like you played too much?
Actually, I feel like I play, like, a healthy amount. I'm not sure, maybe I'm just copium right now.
Well, what's a healthy amount to you?
I play like about 2 hours a day.
Oh, it's fucking nothing, dude. What else do you do with your day?
Work and take care of my family.
Do you enjoy your job?
It's an alright gig. I mean, it's a work from home job, so I can't really complain too much. I get to lay low for a lot of the time, do some other things. It's very chill. It's not like low pressure, but it's not like something that I'm crazy about.
Here's the thing I'll say about most jobs is that in the event that you don't loathe it, it's kind of a win. If it pays for what it is you need to pay for, and like, cause like very rarely, even for the best jobs in the world, eventually they'll feel like a job. I've worked a lot of really cool jobs, even this one. Some days it feels like a fucking job. Doesn't mean I would not pick this over other jobs. I love what I do. But it's more over that the real saving grace of any job is like, I'm around people I don't hate, I get paid enough, and I don't have to compromise too much of my time. Those three things are really the main pillars, because any job's gonna start to feel systematized and kind of redundant after a while. Like, you're gonna be like, this is mundane and repetitious. It's just kind of how work is. You do it every fucking day, you know? But does it give you like time to like explore your interests outside of just games? Because a lot of times games are like, they're fucking awesome because it's like a narrative driven experience that you get to like kind of push yourself into. Not a ton of thinking. It's just, it's all about like eliciting flow state, right? Like the challenge, your ability are intersected well, and you can just kind of zone out and experience something that isn't just your life, you know, which is a huge win, obviously. But do you feel like there's stuff you'd rather be doing with your time right now?
It's not really about what I'd rather be doing. It's kind of like what I feel like I should be doing, because I think I'm kind of limiting myself to one thing, and that's gaming. But I kind of want to find more hobbies, because whereas I'm the guy in my family who got like a Simpsons sweatshirt and a blank photo frame, like my brother now, he got like a bunch of workout equipment and like some cooking utensils and all that, because like he really displays to people those interests.
But
And
it
that's
seems like
not really
if you only
something
have
that
2
other
hours
people...
of time a day to yourself, I don't think it's unreasonable to purpose it towards something that's relaxing. That being said, I still understand the sentiment of like, I would like to do something else. However, your family not giving you a thoughtful gift isn't really indicative of a personal failure. So I guess I kind of want to distinguish the I want to do more with my time because I want more from my time versus like I want to do more because I feel as though I don't have an identity. This whole like self-tabulation thing of being like I am this, it's irrelevant if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you know? And like your parents not really like understanding it isn't really indicative of like a personal failure, you know? You have a job, you make a living, you spend time with the people close to you, and you play games for 2 hours a night. I don't think you're radically fucking yourself by not trying to jam every hour of your day with productivity. Like that's a cancerous idea in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't really blame anyone though for giving me this stuff. I don't care like what they give me. So I'm not faulting anybody for not having the same interest as me. It's more like this is just showing that I don't communicate my interests.
You're
enough.
doing
And
well.
it feels like I don't have a personality in a way.
I can understand
besides
that.
just playing video games.
First of all, your hobbies aren't your personality. You know, your personality is more nuanced and like intrinsic, you know? So you perhaps being less interested in speaking about yourself, more interested in maybe learning about others or exploring virtual environments, that's still a personality. That doesn't have anything, that's not a personal failing because you don't want to like talk to people or you don't feel the need to like express your passions to them in the same way. It's totally valid to be a listener. Eventually, when you feel comfortable enough, you'll probably speak about the things that you love or when you find people who reflect that in you. But like, I don't know, man, you can't force a passion for something. However, if you do want new hobbies, a lot of it's just partitioning time in your life to try and experience, you know? And so really forcing that out of yourself once or twice a week is I think, a really good thing. Like, have a day where you do a new thing every week. Even if it's stupid, getting out in the world, maybe bringing, like, a friend, a brother, is to me, super important in the event that you do want something else to your day-to-day. But I don't know, man, it doesn't sound like you're playing with a lot of free time to begin with. You know what I mean? I think we got to move in a new caller here shortly. I want to thank you for chatting, man.
All right. Yeah, this was really fun. Thank you for having
man.
me.
Yeah, thanks a bunch, dude. I really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon, all right, man?
Take care. Have a good night, everyone.
Likewise, man. Merry Christmas. Yo, Graveyard! What is up, dude?
So, 37 years old, 150 pounds, haven't gained a pound since high school.
So you're probably in decent health then-ish, you know? Not carrying around a ton of extra weight. That's nice.
I drink and I smoke, so
Hey.
it's probably going to go downhill from here.
I mean, do you drink and smoke a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a point of consideration, but, you know, we all have our vices. So you drink, you smoke, 150 pounds, what's the word?
I just can't gain weight. I feel ectomorphic.
What's your actual appetite like?
It swings. I can sit there and binge eat and not gain a pound, or I can, like today, I ate a can of green beans today.
Outside of bone structure, the ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph thing, I think that it's kind of a pseudoscience. I think that the bone structure stuff makes sense, but I think it has a lot more to do with your like ghrelin levels and general comfort, or general hunger. I think that a lot of people who are ectomorphs struggle with appetite more than they do anything else. So they'll like, let's say not eat until they're super hungry suddenly, and then they'll like binge eat, and they'll be like, I can eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
Typically, it's that you just don't eat enough, you know? So on an actual like research level, human meat doesn't vary much. Like there's not a ton of evidence pointing to it. It's more so to do with general hunger levels. And so appetite issues related to nicotine consumption is also a thing that could happen. I mean, how much do you smoke?
Pack a day, at the least.
Pack a day at the... Oh, man. Have you thought about patches, gum, vape, anything? I'm sure you have, because everyone who smokes has.
Yeah, I quit for like 2 years straight.
Shit, really? What brought you back?
I moved out to Colorado, and when I took a trip back home, everyone back there, everybody smoked, so that's when it started.
It's crazy how environmental so many addictions are, you know? I think it's really like everyone else in my environment kind of does it. It's like the only thing that... or like if you're like a line cook, man. Like I have a friend who's a line cook, and he told me that he picked up his habit while being a chef because like you didn't get breaks unless you went and smoked. I mean, like that's how this happens, you know? So what are you you want to learn how to gain weight, I'm assuming, is kind of the thing. Like how do you push that that scale weight up?
Yeah, honestly, I want to bulk up, but there was a point in my life where I was trained to be a firefighter, and you know, no matter what I did, I couldn't bulk up. I took creatine. I ate chicken and rice every day.
Oh man, chicken and rice isn't gonna. That's like not a super filling food. One of the things that if you really want to quote unquote bulk up, I would focus more on, like, frankly, like if you lack appetite, drink some food. As someone who doesn't have a crazy appetite, man, I would blend like almond milk, Rice Krispie cereal, or oats. One of those two is my carbohydrate, with like some whey protein powder and just like peanut butter, some frozen berries, shit like that. Whatever I could fit into the blender that tasted good together, I would just blend and drink. It helps a ton with total consumption.
I was like drinking muscle milk and all that, and
hell yeah,
there was a brand of whey protein powder.
Did it help you?
Not really, because I feel like I was doing like a lot of quick burning exercises. Like I was unloading trucks.
A lot of it is like, it's a two-pronged thing. Like you can gain weight by eating at a caloric surplus, and you gain muscle when you are applying proper resistance to the muscle atop that caloric surplus. So with the caloric surplus, your body either has an elevated ability to build new muscle tissue and repair existing muscle tissue, or it has an elevated ability to store fat, essentially. And whether or not you are training is essentially what determines how that food's going to be partitioned. You need a little bit of both. Like if you're not actively resistance training in some way, that doesn't mean weightlifting, but like I think weightlifting's more efficient, but just general resistance training, it's going to be really challenging. Even like pull-ups, working with resistance bands, things of that nature is a good way to get going.
I hate pull-ups, man. Don't bring up pull-ups. I hate pull-ups.
They help, man. They help. It's kind of undefeated. So for me personally, those are big things there, making sure that the input and the output both make sense, right? So like, what am I doing with my body and how am I fueling it, right? If you're fueling to a surplus and you're training to gain, like, you know, muscle tissue, it's kind of like, it is like a thermodynamic inevitability as long as your hormone profile is solid. You said you're 37. Have you had like a blood panel done at any point to see like how your general testosterone is, etc.?
No, I have not.
So you can do things like private MD labs and stuff like that. It's like a couple $100. I think you can even get like a general male hormone panel for like $150. And you can just rule out whether or not there's any issue there, you know, because if there is, you could probably take that to a doctor and they can help you more, like, better optimize that.
I've honestly been concerned about low T.
I mean, dude, that's like nothing to be ashamed about either. You're like in your mid-30s at this point. Like most male hormone health begins to decline in the 30s anyway. That's not a problem. Do you drink beer?
Yes, beer.
Yeah, beer can be kind of estrogenic as well, so not necessarily the best booze to drink, but really, I don't recommend any booze, ideally, because it will hurt you.
I used to drink liquor, but yeah, I switched to beer.
Whatever helps you drink less, ultimately, is probably a good thing, but neither helps. Do you think you drink too much, or do you just drink, like, recreationally a few times a week or something?
Recreationally, usually, but when friends are around, yeah, probably too much.
Oh, man. So you and your friends kind of bond over, like, drinking and smoking then, ultimately, yeah?
It's more like an online thing. I never go out.
So, like, hanging with friends in Discord or something,
yeah,
and like
Discord,
getting.
exactly.
I mean, here's the great thing: is like you can just pretend you're drinking. You never have to chat with them. They never have to know. They're not going to be there being like, drink. And just say, yeah, drink it a beer. Never drink again. Ideally, something like that would help. But also, man, like this is something I recommend with soda more than anything. But like gradually water down your booze over time with like if you get like regular beer and non-alcoholic beer and just fucking cut it until you're like going like to 50-50 to 75-25 and then like eventually just swap to like a non-alcoholic beer. Over time, you're going to normalize being less hammered, you know, and like accessing a part of yourself that I think is kind of important to learn to access. But also, I'm not a specialist when it comes to quitting booze. I don't even know if that's something you want to do, but that's stuff that I generally recommend.
I honestly prefer you over AA because AA is just like a completely different thing.
AA can be a bit culty, but it can also help. I mean, I went to AA as a kid because my parents were alcoholics, so like they recommend that stuff. It's not like I went for myself necessarily, but you learn a lot about the process, and it can feel like a lot, and it's very like God-oriented, which not everyone wants to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. You have to have like this higher power,
which some people might need. You know, like some people really, I don't know, maybe it's that good, but I think generally speaking, when it comes to quitting any kind of narcotics, it's like there are specialists that are better that aren't necessarily AA, even if it's like a psychiatrist, psychologist. But I know that generally speaking, cold turkey with alcohol is tough. Learning to drink less by diluting what it is you're consuming, I think is probably a good way forward for a lot of people. But it's really tough, man, especially when a lot of your like social presence feels dictated by it. But the one thing I've learned is that a lot of times people don't observe the difference in behavior that you observe yourself. So like in my time, not even necessarily drinking, but like taking any kind of drug, most of the time I will perceive in myself changes that no one else perceives. Other people perceive me as being entirely normal. No one's like, you're not as fun, you know? Well, it's that you don't feel the same chemicals, so you're like, something must be wrong because I don't feel as good, you know? But eventually you normalize it and it stops becoming a point of stress. But it takes a kind of a, you know, it takes some courageous action there to really get to that point of no longer being concerned, because you have to kind of like normalize that in your life, which is fucking hard, mind you, but definitely valuable.
Thank you so much, man. I'm so proud of the message you're spreading, and I hope you keep continuing to do these call-ins. You've helped me a lot.
Man. Thanks a bunch, man.